Hello, 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 hello. Today. Hello, everybody. The Network King Lee Williams here, and just wanted to come on here and speak. I've got this one actually being posted in the Tri Cities basketball group to kind of talk with people and share some things. And because I see a lot of stuff going on and had some talk with a few different organizations, different people, and I know a lot of people are looking to get their kids into youth travel sports. Some have been doing it for a while, some are new to it, some don't understand the things about it. Um, so I want to make this post, this video to help people, help families, help friends, help organizations, help everybody because I tend to get a lot of messages from people contacted, direct messages, personal messages, people asking, looking for teams, looking for organizations, and asking, well, what all does travel sports supposed to do? What all is it? How is it supposed to help, or how much is it? Because I've heard all these rumors. So this is to help people. There's a little bit of info you should do whenever you're going into travel organizations and going into travel sports. And you're going to hear something about each and every organization, depending on you people that you hear it from. Sometimes you're going to hear good. Sometimes you're going to hear bad. Sometimes you're going to hear things about the organizations or the owners. Other times you're going to hear things about the coaches or the parents. This is where you have to kind of do your research. But I will say this: get to know the organization for yourself, get to know the coaches for yourself, get to know the people. Go to a game, see the parents, watch the parents, see how they act. Go to the game, see the coaches, watch the coaches, see how they act, see how they respond, see how they do with the kids. Every parent is going to have a different opinion. Every player is going to have a different opinion. Every coach is going to be different because, you know, not everybody's going to work with everybody. Um, Coaches, organizations, players, it's all relationships. And the reason why I say that is just like relationships in life that you all have. Some of y'all, when you married or you date, this. The person you married normally wasn't your first love. Person you dated, you could have switched to somebody else because you just weren't happy or things changed, stuff like that. So there's differences in the people of how you deal and how the parents are and how the kids, because each kid is differently. Everybody's child doesn't act the same. So you need to do your research on that part and go to places to watch the teams operate and speak with the organizations. Don't just take one person's opinion on it. Contact the organization and get the info from the organization, get the info from the coaches, get the info from them as well. These things are helpful to you all in what you do. Going to go on to another part of this in helping you all out. When you're looking for an organization, or you're looking to get your child into youth sports, and this is not just basketball, this is football, track, baseball, soccer, all of that stuff. What things do you want for your child? What level do you want your child to go to? And the reason why I say that is this: some organizations are more experienced, some coaches are more experienced. Um, so you're going to find that part and see on that part there. Some organizations have parents just filling in and they're learning. Some parents may have experience, some don't. Some might be filling to help out. So the level of growth for your child could vary because what does that coach implement? Practices, workouts, drills, those things play a role in the level of how your kid is going to develop. Because if you're going to a place where a parent doesn't have experience and they don't really know drills and stuff like that, then how can you expect the kids to grow and build unless they're going to be going to camps or clinics or workshops, stuff like that to learn, or if that parent is going to get somewhere to learn themselves and build also that can help the kids. Just rule of thumb, something to think about. Also, price points are different. They are. Some organizations I've seen, some do free, some do $100, $200, some do $1,200. Here's where you have to ask as a parent before you get too deep. You can always ask them. Most organizations are going to be clear with you and let you know, okay, what are your fees? And what do these fees involve? Give me a breakdown detail of what these fees what I get with these fees. Does my child get uniforms? Does my child get training? Does my child get access to a gym? Does my child get shoes included in that, or bags with it? Because some teams do uniforms and bags and warm-up shirts, stuff like that. Does that fee also include the tournament entry fees? Does that include the age verification ID setup? Because some teams use that as well also. Um, what does that entail, and what might be some additional expenses that I'm going to incur? Reason why I say what are some additional expenses, because parents, keep in mind, you're going to pay to go to the tournaments. You're going to spend, sometimes if you're traveling out of areas, you're going to spend for hotels. So that's gas, food, hotel, stuff like that. Um, so there's other things. Some teams may charge just a standard base fee, but then when it comes time for tournaments, they have the parents or the players, which is going to fall on the parents, to split the entry fee. Parents, you need to know this, because those are extra expenses that will play into that situation that you need to know. Good to know. And you can ask the organizations about the details of what they have and what the price points are of stuff. If they can't give you those details, then that's probably a sign for you to know that you might need to look at other places, or you're going to rock with them, or you're going to help them to do stuff on there. So that's kind of some of the stuff you need to look at when doing that. The other thing that you need to ask, because I get this question as well: what kind of tournaments do you enter? Are they just local tournaments? Are in the area? Are they AAU tournaments? Are they USBA tournaments? Are they Tennessee Miracle, which is the USAB tournaments? Are they premier tournaments and stuff like that? Because every tournament is different. With some of the organizations like the AAU, the organization pays a fee to register with the AAU. Each player has to pay a player athlete membership. Each coach has to pay a coach membership for the AAU. And then you also pay a tournament entry fee as well. And in some areas, AAU tournaments aren't around the Tri-Cities areas right now. They are outside of the area. You don't have many as far as in the state, except on the other areas of the state, which goes over to the other side of Tennessee. So you need to ask those questions, because there's certain ways with affiliations. Now you have other ones like USBA, the USAB, like I said, which is Tennessee Miracle, stuff like that. You don't pay a player fee, a player membership fee, and you don't pay a organization membership fee, but you do have to pay a tournament entry for whatever tournament it is on that part there. Your tournament prices will vary. I mean, you can see tournaments like local tournaments are going to be, maybe you can see them for $75, $125, $150, up to $200. Your bigger tournaments, which will be your more competitive tournaments, because you got teams coming from other cities, other states, and other stuff like that. Your bigger tournaments can be anywhere from $250 up to almost $1,200. Some of your bigger ones, like the AAU Worlds, I know, stuff like that, you're talking $595 to $695 for those. And you may see some of those $450, $500 range, stuff like that. So those are other fees, but you're going to have a lot more stronger competition, higher level talents, because you've got like elite teams getting in, and you've got like Division I, Division II, stuff like that. So you got elite, competitive, and then you have some developmental teams. So that's something you need to look at too, parents, whenever you are looking at getting into this, because those are additional fees that will also take place on there too. There is a difference, because with the level of the tournaments, just going to go ahead and say it, there is a difference in the level of the referee. Like your smaller local tournaments, it just might be in an area that may charge $75 or $100. They might have high school kids refereeing, just fill in to help referee and do stuff. So you're not going to see a lot of the calls you might expect to see on stuff like that. Or you don't have, like what they say, the TSSAA referees, participating in those guys who are certified. Let me say certified. Some of those, you may see a few in there on that part, but you might not, because that depends on what the tournament organizers are paying the referees. Because ultimately, referees, they're there to do work, but they're getting paid for their work, and they want to be paid for their certification. I mean, they're certified to do what they do, so they want to be paid for that. So you need to look at that as well when you talk about what level of you want your child to play in, and what kind of tournaments you want them to be in. So your stronger tournaments and stuff like that, you won't have like a lot of the, I say, learning referees or people just playing the role of referee. You're going to have certified referees in those. So that's something that you need to look at when doing so. And like I said, this is to help everybody because I get a lot of calls, a lot of messages, a lot of questions, and this is to help everyone across the board. And this is also to say, organizations, be clear to the people. Let them know. Be open with them. And and do the right things. And this is to everybody. I mean, if you've got, because these parents are spending money and they're with the understanding of things and all that when y'all explain it to them, be clear with them. If the parents are paying for things, if they're paying for their uniforms and stuff like that, and even if they leave, if they pay for their stuff, give them their uniforms they paid for. If they've done stuff, be real with the parents, be true to the parents. We all want to help each other and want to help each other grow. You don't need to leave a bad taste in people's mouths. And really, truthfully, if and here's the thing, parents, I'm gonna say this: you can look at things in different ways. Everybody always wants their child to have certain things, whatever else. At some places, the organizations pay for the uniforms, but they don't put the kids' names on the back. That way, the organization gets the uniforms back at the end of the season, and then they can use them for the next season. Now, parents, if you're in those organizations, whenever you're done with that organization, turn your uniforms in. Don't hold on to them. Turn them back in so that organization can keep moving forward. Now, if you paid, out of your pocket for the uniforms, or y'all raise money to get the kids' names on the back, then hey, those uniforms go to the kids. I mean, that's fair, and that's honest on both sides. So just try to do things the right way, but also this info hopefully will help you out. And I'm gonna say this because you will hear something good about almost every organization, and you're also going to hear something bad on almost about every organization. Do your due diligence and do your research and look at it and see. Look at how the organizations have grown. Look at how they build. Look at the organizations and what they do and how they go. And also check the experience. If you really are in detail and want your kid to learn a lot, check the experience of the coaches. You can ask questions. You can see and they can talk to you. Now, and I keep in mind, I'm gonna say this: every good or great player doesn't necessarily make them a good or great coach. And that's just like every good or great coach wasn't always a good or great player. They just studied the game and understood certain things about how to operate the game and how to coach kids and how to do that part there. So the things can factor out a little bit on that part. So don't always think just because it's good here, they're good over there, because that's not true. That can be different. But ask questions, get insight, and see. And we all want to help each other build each other, help each other grow each other, help to make each other better. Yeah, we want to help make each other better. But we need to do more work and more due diligence on things there as well too. And also while you're looking at stuff and doing stuff, like I said, you get those factors and ask questions, see the amounts of the organization, ask them about the experience, ask the coaches the details about what they've done, what's their playing experience, what do they know about the game, do they go to camps and clinics and study? Because here's the thing, it's not just about the kids learning. Because if somebody's going to coach your kid, they need to be willing to learn as well and grow. Because I don't know any team out here right now that has a perfect record with no losses. I don't know of any organization out here that has a perfect record with no losses unless they just started and they 0-0, so they ain't even played a game yet. So everybody can learn. Be willing to learn, be willing to grow, and be willing to take it up to the next level, and trust and understand me. If you've got coaches in an organization that are willing to talk with other coaches and even take notes and learn from other coaches and other camps and go into clinics, and the coaches are learning, it's going to make it better for your kids and for your youth. Because that way your kids can learn more and they can grow more. And I also believe this: whenever coaches can talk to each other and go talk to other coaches and learn, levels higher or levels at the same, even levels lower, it builds a network where it creates better opportunities for your kids, because word of mouth travels great. And when coaches can be like, yeah, I know that kid, I've seen them play that, they do a good job, or I know that coach, they do a good job, da, da, da. I don't need to speak bad on no other coaches, no other teams. I mean, I'm not going to. I'm gonna wish everybody well, but I just want everybody to do right and take care of things and do the kids right and do the parents right. And I think that's what we all want, or we all at least say we want it. So let's continue to try to do that and do the right things to help grow each other and help build each other. Let's help uplift each and one of these organizations to help them all to become better or get better. And if they aren't doing right, be open to listen and get help so that you can do better and get right. If you don't know, and here's the thing, and I'm gonna say this: if coaches and organizations don't know certain things, and I've gotten caught up in it for a while. I went to find out what the organization to see what they did, and they said they were one thing, and then whenever I, got families and people involved and want to, go play for that certain team, they weren't what they said they were. So I was like, nah, I'm going this way and going another direction because I know some things. And I've been around it. I mean, yeah, it's changed over the years whenever I've been stuff and really involved into it, but I'm back involved in it now. So I had to learn some other things that have changed and going on, and it's kind of the adjustments there. But I don't want to be hooky pooed by nobody's what we call it, hooky poo, where somebody try to get one over on you. I don't want to be done like that by anybody. So and that's why I get my knowledge and my insight, and I always do my research to check, because I want the best for these kids. I want the best for these parents. I want the best for these organizations and the coaches all across the board. And I love each and every one of y'all. Anybody want to have a conversation, we can even do a podcast and talk and get you linked in here, and we can discuss right here on the thing, because you know what? There's a lot of people that want to know. There's a lot of people who want to learn. And maybe I'll do another podcast coming soon to talk about trainers, camps, clinics, how they can help, the reason for and stuff like that, because I think that's something that people want to know, because people want to discuss about it and talk about it. And, so I think we need to have a discussion on those things as well. And I know there have been discussions going on that too, but, maybe this can help out, because I even want to get some of the trainers on and some of the clinic directors and some of the people, all that, who bring people in and stuff like that, because we need to discuss that stuff and even talk about other things that help people grow. So let's continue to work together. Let's continue to build. Love you all. Y'all have a great day. Y'all take care. Make it a great one. Love you all so much. Let's see here what we got here. We'll show you this one.
There's a lot of time that people talk about mountains, and a lot of people say, oh, when I can get this mountain moved, oh God, will you move this mountain? A lot of times God has placed that mountain there for you not to move it. It's almost like when you're kids, people who have children, the kid come up and says, can I have $20 or can I have $50? You just normally don't give that kid $20 or $50. You ask the kid to work for it, right or wrong. So a lot of times that's what God is doing in our lives, where he wants you to put forth some effort and work. He's not wanting to move that mountain for you. He didn't place that mountain there for it to just move out of your way. He placed it there so that you would climb it. Because whenever you climb it, you'll actually see a difference. You're making an effort. Because when you get to the top of that mountain, what you see at the top of that mountain is you get to look at the situation below from a different view. You can see it from 10,000 feet, from 20,000 feet. You get to assess the situation, because then you're not in the midst of the storm that's down at the bottom of that mountain that you were trying to get moved out of your life. Whenever you got it, when you're able to be up on top of that mountain, you also can get a little closer to where you can hear the message of what's being told to you, what's being trying to be given to you. Because when you're down in the midst of all the storm, it's too much commotion where you can't see or you can't hear what's going on, and you're not focused. So instead of asking to move the mountain, climb the mountain. Take some effort. Even if you got to get something to attach in and pick into the mountain and reach and climb, get a rope, get a way to pull yourself up, but get yourself to where you can get to the top of that mountain, and then you'll find your decision. Because what that's doing as well is separating you from something. It's separating you from either some trouble or situation. It's separating you so you can clear your mind and so you can think whenever you get on top of that mountain. Stop asking to move the mountain and instead work to climb the mountain. Today, the Network King Lee Williams here. Make it a great one.